Brad Pitt's one of the most successful actors of all time. He's been in over 50 movies and is a household name since Thelma and Louise. The actor has starred in successful films such as World War Z, Interview with the Vampire, and Ocean's 11. Of course, it also means that he's made a lot of money along the way. He's one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood and has a fortune evaluated on nearly $300 million. So without any further ado, let's have a look at his highest grossing films, ranked. Here we go. At number 10, Ocean's 13, $311.3 million. Ocean's 13 is the last movie of the trilogy that started with Ocean's 11. While critics and the public praised the first movie, the sequel, Ocean's 12, was considered disappointing. However, when the last movie was released in 2007, the public was still curious to know what happened to the team. It's difficult to ignore a film that puts together Brad Pitt, George Clooney, and Matt Damon. Perhaps that's what made it the highest grossing movies on Brad Pitt's career. Like all the movies in the trilogy, Ocean's 13 has performed very well and made over $300 million. At number 9, Inglourious Basterds, $321.5 million. According to many critics, this is the best performance of Brad Pitt. He plays Lieutenant Aldo Raine, who makes money killing Nazi soldiers. Inglourious Basterds was very successful and made $321 million. This thing was a gift. It landed in my lap and 6 weeks later we were shooting. You don't want to change a thing, Pitt told MTV. I compare it to working with a Coen Brothers script because the dialogue is so spot on. This was the first time Brad Pitt and Quentin Tarantino worked together. Their second film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, was just released and brings other famous names like Leonardo DiCaprio and Margot Robbie. At number 8, Megamind, $321.9 million. Brad Pitt has 6 children with his ex-wife Angelina Jolie. There's no surprise that at some point he would get involved with a project for kids. He admitted that his kids were the reason he accepted to be the voice of Metro Man, the flawless superhero that defeats the villain Megamind multiple times. However, he said the hero resembles another A-list actor. I think he looks a bit like George Clooney, which is obviously not as good, Brad told Access. So I think that answers the question. The movie grossed $321.9 million. At number 7, $327.3 million. Seven was one of the best thriller movies produced back in the 90s. It brought together Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Kevin Spacey, and Gwyneth Paltrow. Pitt and Freeman play 2 detectives that have to find a serial killer committing crimes based on the 7 deadly sins. It made over $327 million. Pitt was injured during the shooting. He had to wear a cast to protect his arm for a few weeks. Therefore, they had to insert it on the script. David Fincher, who directed the movie, worked with Brad Pitt again on The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Speaking of, number 6, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, $333.9 million. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button was based on a novel written by F. Scott Fitzgerald. The history is about Benjamin Button, a baby that is born old and gets younger within the years. Brad Pitt plays the leading role, while Cate Blanchett plays his love interest. The movie made over $330 million. Number 5, Ocean's 12, $362.7 million. Ocean's 12 is the second movie of the Ocean's 11 trilogies. No shock there. It was released in 2004 and the public was looking forward to knowing what happened to Rusty, Brad Pitt, Danny, George Clooney, and Linus, Matt Damon. This time, the team has to recover the money they spent or they can go to jail. The movie made $362.7 million. Although critics and the public loved the first movie, Ocean's 12 didn't live up to the expectations and many people were disappointed. But it's still one of the highest grossing films of that year. At number 4, Ocean's 11, $450.7 million. When Ocean's 11 was released, everybody knew it was going to be the highest grossing movies of that year. The film brought together the highest paid actors in Hollywood, George Clooney, Brad Pitt, and Julia Roberts. It made $450.7 million, and it became a successful trilogy. The first movie was released in 2001, the same year of the 9/11 attacks. Originally, there was a scene with George Clooney and Matt Damon watching the New York hotel and casino explode. The producers decided to remove it from the final version. At number 3, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, $478.2 million. This is one of the rarest moments we see Brad Pitt doing during a comedy movie. The plot of Mr. and Mrs. Smith is a couple of spies that spend most of the film trying to kill each other. It was the first time Pitt worked with Angelina Jolie. As everybody knows, they fell in love on set. It was a scandal because Brad Pitt was married to Jennifer Aniston and they were one of the most beloved couples in Hollywood. The rumors helped promote the movie and it made $478.2 million. Mr. and Mrs. Smith is one of the highest grossing films on Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's career. At number 2, Troy, $497.41 million. Brad Pitt was at the best moment of his career when he was invited to play Achilles, the mythological Greek character known for being indestructible. The movie is a Hollywood version of the Iliad, written by Homer on 762 BC. Troy was released in 2004 and had names like Orlando Bloom and Diane Kruger, but Brad Pitt was the most important actor on the cast. Although the critics hated it, the public loved the film, and it made $497.41 million. Pitt received $17 million for his role. And at number 1, World War Z, over $500 mil. Released in 2013, World War Z is the highest grossing movie on Brad Pitt's career. It made $502.67 million. The timing for the film was perfect since there were several productions that used the zombie apocalypse as the center of their history. Pitt plays Jerry Lane, a former government employee that had to fight against a zombie apocalypse that even the US Army can't deal with. There are rumors that producers are planning a sequel, but it wasn't confirmed yet. The movie was based on a novel written by Max Brooks. Well guys, thank you so much for making it to the end. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Trending 10s, and ring that bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching.